Alright guys, welcome back to Silver Dollar City Recreation and Planet Coaster 2. I'm sure you guys are just as excited as I am to get back in here. We're gonna get started. I had my orientation for the 2026 season today. One of my orientations, there's more than one. I actually had my first orientation today, just got home a little while ago. And I said, what better way than to get back into Planet Coaster 2 while it's fresh in my mind. Since I've been on the park today, I was on site, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So it's really good orientation, and got to meet with the teams for the first time again in quite a few weeks. You know, we've met up a few times, but in the off season, but some of the people I haven't seen in a while, so always good to see them again, and kind of catch up with some people and get back into it. So and start talking about the 2026 season. So very, very exciting stuff. So very excited to see how the season goes. I think it's gonna be a great season. It's gonna be a great season. Got some great teams, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, if you're heading out to Silver Dollar City this year, be sure to stop by and say hi. I'll usually be at either Outlaw Run or Powder Keg. Fun fact about Powder Keg this year. I was over there today, and they actually have have it blocked off before you can get to the launch. So the observation area for the launch at Powder Keg is gone. They ripped all that path out. It's all gravel now, and they're doing construction work there now. So it looks like for this season at least, I'm sure it'll change once all that construction's done. There is no observation area for the launch. So it's gonna, you won't be able to see the launch anymore for Powder Keg, at least for this season. I'm sure it'll be open up by next season. But yeah, they ripped that pathway out. So, because I'd imagine they're going to be building a new pathway that goes there. So, and there's literally just new footers that just popped up right there, right next to Powder Keg. So, I was watching them actually do some footer work. Like, they were actually putting some new footers in. There's a lot more footers now since the park closed in last season. So that's kind of fun to see. A little exciting. No tracker supports are up yet, but a lot more footers. So obviously, once the footers are done, I'm sure a lot of stuff will start arriving on site, which will be a fun thing to see. So can't wait to see that, and I'm sure an announcement will be sometime in August for that project. Excited to see what Silver Dollar City has up their sleeve. I obviously got a little bit of an inside scoop of what's going on, a little bit more than others usually, but there's still a lot of details I don't know about. So I'm very excited to see more details come out about that new attraction. So that they've really started to build up the teasing. You're going to start probably seeing a lot of teasing of that new attraction soon. They were also testing rollbacks on Powder Keg today, so that was fun to watch too. They were actually purposely having the train roll back and go onto the spike, so I got to see the train go up the spike, which was pretty cool. Not something you get to see very often because Powder Keg rollbacks are very rare. I think we only had one last season, and I was working that day, so I got to experience that and watch it, so see it happen. But yeah, they have to test it to make sure that the transfer track stays in place and functions the way it's supposed to. So they do that just as an extra test to ensure that the transfer track is staying put when the train rolls back. So that's obviously a huge safety thing that they have to make sure is working properly. So very, very important stuff indeed. So really, really awesome. But you're going opening weekend. I see Noah's in here, Wyatt's in here, so good to see you guys in the chat. Sorry I didn't respond right away, but today we're going to be working more on Hill Street, and more specifically, I wanted to do like the little waterfall-ish kind of area, like the little rocks and the waterfall that comes down through here. Maybe even make the little bridge over by the knife shop, which we haven't built the knife shop just yet, but we do have the starts of this little thing going in, so that is good for that. And yeah, I meant to snag a photo of the side of Wagon Works today, but I completely forgot. I walked by and I said, oh, I gotta get that later. I should have done it right then and there. And it looks like it's fairly simple, like, if I remember right. Like, I'm pretty sure this is just walls here and an opening here, and that's literally it. So I think we should have no problem with that. I'll try and snap a photo in a couple days when I have the chance to do that, because I will be back for my regular orientation on Friday in 2 days, so I'll get that going there, and then we can finish up Wagon Works and get that kind of figured out at that point. So yeah, very, very good. I'm actually going to bring up a reference that I have of this spot. I think I have one, so... Very, very cool. So let me see if I can bring that up. Gallery and recent. Let's sort it by... I think there's a way I can sort it by video, so we can... maybe, yeah, sort... date created, date modified, group by date. I guess not. Maybe there's not. I'll just have to scroll down, I guess. Alright, that's about summertime. Okay, here's my reference videos. I made some reference videos of, like, actually this spot right here. So we're gonna get into that. Let me unlock that so I can bring it up. And sweet. So basically starting right here is where that is. So I'm going to get into that and get this kind of filled in right here a bit. So that's going to be the hopes anyway. So let's get started on some rock work. Now I got to figure out what rock I want to use here. We can probably just use the custom rock, but the island rock kind of matches as well. But there's not that many options for the island rock. You can see we only got these options. So it might be a better idea to actually use the custom rock and just recolor it, because it's so versatile and everything. So that's always a good option for us here. Oh gosh, that's a lot larger than I thought. I want to try and start with some maybe the smaller stuff. Yeah, somewhere around there. I know we can recolor it, of course. I'm gonna go with a dark kind of gray color that is what I want. Very dark, very nice. And we're just gonna start on some rock. I turned this off. Why is it turned back on? My goodness. My goodness. So how's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing great. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm excited to get back into work, so I'm happy. I'm excited. It was nice to see everyone and start to get back into the swing of things at Silver Dollar City. So can't tell you how excited and ready I am to be back into it. It's gonna be a great season. I got to get a little inside scoop of some of the new things coming in the 2026 season when it comes to like a lot of different things, various different things. So very interested to see how everything kind of plays out. For sure. But today's goal is to try and get this done again and just continue to keep trucking along here on Hill Street and hopefully get Hill Street pretty much close to done. That way we can move on to some of the rides. I know you guys are excited to probably see more of the fun stuff, like actually working on rides. I'm excited to work on Wildfire. It's going to be our first coaster we build in here for this particular recreation. I did build the layout in the Planet Coaster 1 version, but I never did like much of the detail work on it. So that's something to note there, but that's all right. Yeah, all of this is going to be like rock work with a lot of different stuff kind of going on for it. Let me see where I walk down. Let's see what the reference I do here. I do go look down a little bit there, which is nice. And there's a lot of just land there that... Okay. I think we're going to outline this with the curbage, and then we have to get the fences in as well, looking at that. I can't believe I completely skip in this video. I pretty much skip looking over at oh gosh, Wagon Works. I could remember the name of the place for some reason. It was escaping me. But yeah, all right. We'll adjust the path as needed here. We're just gonna continue on here, and then we're just going to place. We're gonna do a the fencing over here too. I need to figure out what's the best way to use that fence, because they do use this fencing a lot. The ones that I think it is zigzaggy over here too with the fence. So we're gonna keep that in mind. They do kind of do there's a little zigzag with the fence and pathway here. So there'll be like a not that there'll be like go this way a little bit. Kind of weird. I go this way a little bit, and then they'll literally come like a 90-degree angle and come back this way. And they like do that down this direction for a bit. So we're gonna try and replicate that as best as we can. I could use the floor plan, but again, the floor plan's really hard to see in this area because of like the trees and such. So we don't really have. We have to kind of work around that a little bit, fortunately, but I think I can kind of see the fencing over there from this angle. It doesn't really start up here. I guess yeah, that's fine. It'd be fine. And then we're just going to adjust the terrain, or the path, however we need to. So that's what we're going to do there. I need to... The terrain makes this a little bit more difficult. Make this just a little bit lower, too. But appreciate you guys being here, guys. Hope you guys, again, are having a fantastic day. As we continue this amazing recreation, I really want to finish this so bad. Like, I really want to make sure I get it actually done this time. But I'm going to need everyone's support, and I need to keep that motivation going. It's going to be tough, but I hope that I don't lose motivation this time. I hope I can keep it going. That's my hopes. My hopes, my dreams, my expectations. All on that. Alright, let me see where we're at here. There's quite a bit of terrain stuff going on here. There's some trees, a lot of different stuff going on here that we'll have to make sure we get in, but it's a lot of just rocks here. And then there's like some trees that are in the way. It keeps trying to like snap and do some weird stuff. I don't know why. And then there's just a lot of foliage, scenery stuff going on over there. And then this is going to kind of continue on down over here. There'll be like a little bridge. Hopefully we can make this look good. But yeah, we'll be starting training on the rides this next week, so excited about that. Be nice to get back into the swing of things. Get our new people ready to go. And get it ready for the guests, for them to make some memories worth repeating again. So it was really cool to watch Powder Keg have rollbacks today. That was fun. It's a very rare sight. It's a very rare rollback, very rare credit. It only happens maybe once a year. Once per season. But you actually get to go up the spike a little bit, which is kind of cool. That's what the spike's there for rollbacks. So, very cool to see that kind of actually unfold a little bit. Alright, we're gonna go to about right there just for now. I'm just kind of creating, kind of outlining where the path that this little water trail is gonna go. With these rocks, that's all we're doing right now. It's not gonna look fantastic just yet. We're just kind of getting our outline, if you will, for this. So, just kind of a little bit of an outline. And you'll go over a little bridge over here. I should probably have maps up too. That will probably, because I could see the other side from maps, because it does go that way. So I should probably have it up. Because there is street view in that area, so where we can kind of see that from the other side. Ah, why'd you warp me over here? Alright, so I'm looking literally the angle on street view from this direction. You can see kind of how that's gonna go. So that's a little helpful. Didn't mean to delete that. It's basically just going to be a lot of nature-y kind of stuff going on here. Nature and bushes and stuff like that. That's basically what's here. And then we do need to figure out how we're going to create what we're going to do for the fencing. So I gotta figure that out. Or what pieces would be best for that fencing. Because it's very natural kind of looking wood. So let's see if we can create a template for that fence. So let's just type wood and see what we can find in here. Hopefully we can find something that will work good. Got our logs. And, yeah, let's take a look here. Got wooden poles. Got signposts. Really just trying to find something that would look good. These might have a chance, but they're not. They literally just kind of look like like very small logs. But they're like still kind of shaped up to be a fence. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. So let's see if we can find a good wood piece. Wood structure here. And we can use just normal wood pieces. That would be fine. But I'm looking to see if there's anything that would work a little bit better. See, I think these guys are probably going to be in the lead because they're a little bit more jagged and kind of natural shaped, so these probably will be we obviously have to make it smaller, so we'll use the scaling on that. I think that's going to be our top competitor right there for this fence is going to be these guys. Side panel. Yeah, and then we got a lot of the those guys. I think that's going to be it. I think that's going to be it. Alright, so I'm going to make a scenery group for this so we can just reuse it over and over. Alright, so we're going to have to scale it down to the right size, and we're going to give it some more gray color in there. Still have it a woodish brown, but put some gray in there. I don't know, will this work? The other ones are going to be wedged in the middle. It's kind of hard because it's not the right shape. Don't do that, please. I don't know, maybe we do go with something else. I could use the 3 here and maybe... What's up, Donovan? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Is this one more... This might be better than... Yeah, okay. Let's use this one. This one should work well. Looking at this guy. And what I'm going to do is I am going to do some random rotation here to really make this look a little bit more random. Because they do kind of look a little bit more random. Like that. Yeah, this is going to be the winner right here. Oh, did I make it part of that group? What? I don't remember doing that. Alright, let's split this from the building. Make it its own thing. Make it its own thing. And this is going to be a recurring fence that is used everywhere. Like, it's literally just this, and then you just, like, kind of slot it in between there and then rotate it as needed, so... Alright, so I'm going to take this because we're going to keep this. We're going to need that for later, so I'll put one over there. And let's get started on this. So obviously we're going to have to angle it. And get this fence kind of started. And of course, it's not going to allow me to go straight, because that would make too much sense. Planet Coaster's like, you got to be diagonal. What are you doing? That's how Planet Coaster always functions. You got to be diagonal on your stuff. It won't let you just follow everything the straightened way. It's so bizarre. I don't understand why it does that. So dumb. Like, why is this diagonal? Everything's facing the right way. It makes this 10 times longer, almost. And doing an angle here doesn't help either, because the angle's going to be all weird on it as well. I don't know why it does that. Can I select 2 of them? It'll be the same? Okay, yeah, we'll select 2 of them. So it's not in such a weird angle, and we can just adjust as needed. Makes it a little bit better. Just a little bit. Da-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. All right, let's keep this rolling. Looking at that. Path that goes that way. I'm very like, I don't know. Kind of hard to see what is over there. Just kind of gotta see where it takes me. Or maybe we can look across. That's the same spot I was in. Here's the little bridge over here. Where's this at? Oh gosh, where am I at? Oh, now I'm over by the leather shop. Okay. The freaking street view is like just so awfully done over here in in this area. Makes it really difficult to navigate. It's gonna do some weird angles here because it's not straight. So dumb how this functions. That's why I keep selecting those bottom ones that are a little bit easier to put them where we need. At least a little bit. Just slightly. The great thing about these is they don't have to be perfect, because these fences are very imperfect in general. Oh my gosh. Hate it when I select the wrong rotation point and then it's just Everything's not how I want it. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da. All right. And the fence kind of continues on the top of the curbs and such, so we're gonna make sure they're where they need to be. It'll look beautiful. Except for this, because we have to kind of rotate it. See, this one makes sense. It's actually moving it the way it should be. But everything else, when you do a new one, it's going to be like, nah. And if I get something wrong because I don't have like the greatest references for this right now, we can always come back and touch up on it. Because the paths and such are very confusing if you don't have proper references for all this. It can be a little confusing of where everything goes and how it's all laid out. Or how it should look and such. Like, it's a little bit, I don't know, sometimes, you know, it's kind of like a weird thing. Bum. Yeah, we're gonna have to go all the way around with this fencing, and then we're gonna have to create like the water flow here. Air turned on, and here it's hot. But I'm sure everyone's excited to get back into Silver Dollar City. And real life, like just people in general. Excited to get back in and when it opens back up on the 13th. So the employees are back. We're all training. It's about to start training now and get those rides up and running. I hate it. I hate it. What are we doing? What are you doing? The good thing is the fencing on these are really wonky in real life, so if it ends up looking wonky, that's fine. It's intentional in a way. Makes me glad that I don't have to focus on these too hard. I can kind of wing it a little bit because they kind of look weird to begin with. You'll see this fence quite often, that's why I wanted to save it as a scenery piece, or as a scenery group, because they are kind of weird. Look here. The street view's so weird. I can't get back to where I want to go. by just clicking. Like, it wants to take me to other places instead. Like, I want to go to the top of the square, and I can't get back on the square. Because of how dumb it works. If I want to go look at the square, you have to, like, back out and then click back on it, because I don't know how it works. I mostly just kind of want to see the trees in this area and see what would be the best option here for foliage and scenery. If you know what I mean. Alright. Where's the trees that I want? This one would be good as long as we scale it down a little bit. Perfect. Is there a lot other trees? Just like another one on the other side, like a small, nice small one. That one's gonna be tilted a little bit. Not that much, though. That looked a little too obvious that it was kind of weird looking. Just a little bit. I think the main problem I have is these curbs are way too high off the terrain, or the pavement there. Made them a little bit too high. I mean, we can always adjust that. Of course. I'm just wanting to walk onto stuff, which is kind of making this awkward. Awkward. Alright, should we color the terrain different maybe here? So we're gonna have the water flow down through here. And then it kind of has a little, like, again, like a little bridge for the pathway here. Very little mini bridge. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum. That was a little too high up there. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Yeah, we'll have a little stream of water coming on here. Kind of stop them before we get to that little small bridge area. So we can get this a little bit more established first. Kind of go from there, you know? Dum-ba-dum. Alright, we need more nature-y stuff in here. Because we love nature so much. lot of greenery, a lot of all that stuff, you know? Bum bum bum. Alright, I think I might go ahead and adjust these points here. If it shall let me. I didn't mean to have both of those selected. Gosh, what are you doing? What is this? It's like, I don't think it knows what it's doing. That's fine right there. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. That's looking somewhat presentable. Somewhat. More trees. More trees, because we can't have enough trees. Gonna try and mix it up, make sure we got the variety stuff going on here. Alright, and then we are gonna make this kind of like this color on the side here. And I think there's like some flowers and some pretty stuff. Just stuff to marvel at and pretty, you know, all that fun stuff. Something new to marvel at. Like Marvel Cave. Ha! Gosh dang it, I hate that the rotation of this is going to be so weird because of how awkward it has this at. It's like, why can't I just get a normal rotation? Why is it gotta be all janky? Yeah, after we finish this phase, the next phase is going to be American Plunge and Wildfire. It's gonna be a fun phase, I can't wait. And then we'll do Powder Keg after that too, so like, got a lot of coasters and some fun stuff all back to back. So like we'll be, once we get past Hill Street, we'll be doing a lot of the fun stuff. And such. And I'm wondering if what I should do with Powder Keg, since you can't go to the observation area for the launch. I'll probably just make it look like construction for the new ride, and I'll update it later. And once the new ride gets announced, I might start working on it, since it will be in those areas that will probably have somewhat completed, hopefully at that point. At least I'm hoping we will. Kind of jumping back and forth between doing this fence and other stuff, because I'm not having fun placing these fences down because the rotation stuff really bugs me. I'm trying to do a bit at a time and then going back, and helps me kind of get through it. You know what I mean? So like so. Alright, that's looking pretty acceptable. I almost want to start on the little bridge that's over here. Try and get it on Street View if I can navigate Street View. It's a little bit tough to navigate Street View because the way they have it set up is annoying. You have to literally back out. There's no path to get down there. The way they kind of set it up here is a little weird. There we go. Now I can see it. Now we got a good shot of this little bridge area. Right by the knife shop. And once you get off of that, you'll literally be down by like the American Plunge area. And stuff like that. So the bridge is going to be right here. And I think the way to do this is because it's like two separate little pieces. I don't know. It's kind of weird how they made it. So I'm going to take this path and actually going to pull it back a little bit out of the way. So we can kind of create this bit of a bridge area. But we're gonna have to pull this down a bit and create that bridge. So the way it's actually gonna work, this will come across sort of like that. The bridge will be around right here. Creating some weird stuff here, man. Okay, so first thing is first. We're gonna continue on this way. And then we're gonna take this, pull it this way. I know it looks weird now. It's gonna be one of those weird things. It's a bit hard to accomplish, but we're gonna try. Alright. And then we're going to have to do the different styles here. And then, of course, we'll have to make the bridge also as well. So, like the structure and everything. So, I don't know if we'll really need to worry about texture too much, because what we're doing here, because we're probably just going to cover it up anyways. But we'll recolor it just so we know kind of where that's at. Alright, go back to terrain here. Push this down. Okay. I'm not gonna really be able to do that, am I? We're gonna have to basically just redo that to make that work. Reason why I'm redoing this is because this bridge doesn't really have much of a slant to it, like a elevation change, so gotta adjust that a little bit. All right, and then we're gonna go back and pull this off to the side for this side. And then hopefully be able to create another one over here. Again, we just have to change the size afterwards, so it kind of gets a little funky. It's time to get funky, funky, funky. Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap hands. Okay. Just gonna continue on with this. Oh, I didn't want to... There needs to be a gap there. There has to be a gap there. That. Alright, the point should be on the other side. So that complicates it a little bit. That's a full point right there, so we can't do that. We're gonna have to need a second point down here. It's probably gonna be easier just to redo that. Alright, let's keep that one there, and let's try this again. Let's go first, maybe try and connect. Oh gosh, that's gonna be difficult to get connected, aren't we? Yep. It's okay, we'll just delete more path, giving us more room to maneuver here. That's gonna be the only play we have. And that way it can do all its adjustments and stuff, you know, do its thing. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I hope you guys are still enjoying this content, even though this is not the most fun stuff to watch in the world, you know. I am fully aware of that. And, we're gonna make it more fun at some point, so don't worry. Because, we have... I know the next phase is what everyone's probably gonna be excited for. Being, again, Wildfire and American Plunge. Actually creating some of the, the rides, I know will be a lot more exciting. So, alright, now we got this kind of where we wanted. We needed the 2 points down there, so that's what we were aiming for right there. So the point can be here instead, and then the opening would be right here. I need to create a little bit more separation here. You know, it wants to snap though, like I hate that. I wish there was a button to where we could say, no, don't snap. But no, it wants to snap so bad right there. Just how it functions, unfortunately for us. Okay, this is not the shape we need just yet. That's a little bit closer. And I probably need to pull these forward a little bit, so if I pull this forward like that, there we go. That's going to be a little bit more accurate. Yeah. It's very small. It's like a very small piece. Like that. Now we're getting somewhere. We really are. I don't know how long I've been fiddling with this little bridge, but this bridge is gonna be hard because it's just, you know, the way it's shaped and everything. It can, even with Planet Coaster 2's, you know, pathing system, which is way better than Planet Coaster 1, it's still a little bit difficult to get just right. Still not the most perfect system in the world, but because it's still kind of difficult, right? Okay, Bum 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 bum. I need to replicate that fencing right there. So we're gonna start with this fencing that's over here. We're gonna start with a wooden pole, I think. This is gonna be the best shaping, I think, that we have for this. My thing is, you can't re-color this pole. Alright, I'm gonna make this a scenery group. Real quick. Can we... You're not part of the senior group? Since when? I clicked on it. My goodness, okay. You are now. Welcome to the family. Oh, tedious stuff, man. Tedious stuff. But it's got to be done at some point, right? Alright, this fencing on this side is a little bit different. So, just gonna make it part of the same scenery group. And I'm gonna go to here because I think these are gonna be the best option for this. Bum bum bum. Hold on. Aren't you part of the scenery group? Hello? It added it to this scenery group? What are you doing? What do you mean? No. Whatever. I don't even know anymore. I just work here. Sometimes I don't even want to say that. Oh dear goodness. Why do I always select the wrong rotation point? Every time. I do it every time. Every time. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. It looks pretty solid. I think that will pass. At least I think it does. Appreciate you guys being here, guys. If you want to help support the channel and everything, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that like button. I really would appreciate it. Don't have to, but if you're enjoying the stream, go ahead and hit it. Fight against that YouTube algorithm. Get us up there on, you know, the board. All that fun stuff. Like up the stream. And then we can get some more people in here. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. If you like Planet Coaster 2 and Silver Dollar City, you know, kind of what we do here. So this is one of my bigger projects I'm working on. So, and I need your guys' support to help me get it finished. It would mean a lot. A lot of motivation if everyone is enjoying it and appreciates what I do, you know. I appreciate you guys for watching. You don't have to do anything. You support the channel just by watching, so, which is huge. Just by watching. Alright, we're just gonna give these some, like, borders here. This turned out better than I thought it would, at least, so I'm at least happy about that. I was a little bit worried about how this bridge would turn out, but I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out right now. I don't think I made this bridge in Planet Coaster 1 in the Planet Coaster 1 recreation version. That would have been a nightmare to try and create something like this in Planet Coaster 1. Just the shape in general would be very difficult, especially how thin this bridge is and everything. It would have just been a nightmare to have to deal with. So I decided not to deal with it. We still gotta fit the night shop here, and I just realized that, and that's a very small space to fit it in. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me the way where I put this, because that could be a little bit of a problem, potentially. So. And problems would not be good for us. Alright, we're gonna try and level this thing out, and then we're gonna try and fit the knife shop in there if we can. I hope we can. We're also going to have to really get this smoothed out. This is going to be kind of difficult to get this path flowing down here without any issues, because we already had to make this a little bit higher than expected, so we might have to flatten to surface here. in. There's steep hills in Sword City, but we still want to make sure they're realistic, not too steep to where, like, it's just ridiculously steep around here. But we're going to try our best here to make it as manageable as possible. A lot of smoothing. Takes a lot of smoothing and such to get right. So I think we're doing a good job, though. My biggest concern right now is the knife shop and not fitting it in there. Let's take a look at the knife shop, actually. It's gonna be a tight squeeze. It's gonna be tight. Gonna be tight. But I think I know how I'm gonna maneuver this a little bit. So, we're gonna grab... We're gonna grab this structure here, kind of push it over a bit. Give us just a tiny bit more space. Lovely. And I think for the knife shop, we are going to use non-gridded pieces here, because I think it's going to be the easiest, because we can make it as... We can make the size as big as we need to. Or as small or as big as we need to. So I'm going to utilize this. Gosh, I'm getting lost in the trees. So we're going to try and utilize this as best as we can. Turn angle snap on. And see where this is relative. Oh no, there's a big gap between these two as well. Ah! This is going to be difficult. We made a big mistake. Oh, I don't want to say big mistake, but, like, it's going to be tough to fit this in the way we need to. Gonna be tough. Because there's an opening here as well that we have to account for with, like, a little seating area behind it, and... Ugh. I didn't leave, like, enough space at all for it. What the heck? We're just gonna have to finesse it in. We're just gonna have to deal with it and hope that I can figure this out. I think the play here is gonna make this, build this at an angle. That way... we can still have the opening here. Might be smaller in this than it is in real life, but I think that's going to be our best option here without making a lot of big moves and changes overall. We can kind of push this a little bit into the bridge. The bridge is small, so... And then we can put the opening... Gosh, it's going to be a little bit tough, but... Should have paid attention a little bit better, but that's alright. We're going to run into these things every so often, and it's going to be kind of difficult to troubleshoot, but we just got to kind of overcome it and go from there. Another option is we can maybe do our best to push this little bridge down further. But it's going to be tough. Gonna be tough. We're looking at the details here. I think we can manage something here, at least. But there's like a big terrain drop off here as well. Because this deck over here is kind of look kind of like this, where it kind of looks over here. We're gonna try and place that right around here. Smooth out our terrain. Okay, there's a little seating area over here with some stuff as well. But really just trying to fit this in. And then there's like the little demonstration area in front of this that we also have to build, so gotta fit that in also as well. I want to say there's a wood piece that I'm looking that I want to look at here that I think might be in here. I could be wrong though. That could work through these walls. Yeah. Yeah. Let's use this. It's gonna be perfect. This is gonna be rough, but we're gonna try. I got this. We got this. We all have got this. We're gonna have to mess with the terrain a bit, but we got this. And again, this is probably a lot smaller than what it is in real life, but I'm gonna try and make it work anyways. I'm gonna try. This is gonna be difficult, but we got this. No one's gonna care too much about this section, I don't feel like anyways, so at least I don't think they will. Alright, we're gonna also take this, just kind of slightly adjust it as well to our needs and liking. But appreciate you guys sticking around in the stream, guys. You guys are awesome. For those who have stuck around, thank you guys. Even through this, again, a lot of this tedious kind of work and everything. I know it's not the most fun gameplay to watch me do some of these buildings and bridges and tedious stuff that isn't the most entertaining to watch in general, so I do appreciate you guys sticking around. Even if you're just listening in the background or having the stream playing, you know, in the background, I do appreciate it. Like, you don't... I still find that as good support here from you guys, so this is gonna be something. Okay, that's something right there. I think that's nice. Just getting like this walkway and path back here is gonna be a challenge, so I think our best bet is to make the platform back here, over here, and work around that and just connect it. So I think that's gonna be the play. Again, there's a couple stuff back here. And it kind of goes back here a bit and out. Alright, and then we'll smooth this to try and connect these two pieces of path together, which is gonna be hard. Well, I'm up for the challenge. What about you guys? This is the thing, like with Sword Art City, this kind of stuff, you definitely find yourself getting challenged with this kind of project, especially with obviously the terrain. That is the most challenging part right now, is fighting the terrain here. And like, yeah, I can do that. And then just adjusting this as best as we can, little by little. And then we do have some path kind of overlaying here, but that is actually fine with me, because I think we'll just put like a barrier there, so people won't walk through it. And I probably should put some like actual shops in these stores, so guests will actually walk this way and actually utilize the path down here. So, but I think they will anyways, because it will be the quickest way to like American Plunge and Wildfire in general, because they will cut through there. So I think that's actually going to be good. Sweetness. Alright, so if we look over here, that has that platform there. So we're going to do that. We're going to put over here, and this kind of works perfectly. We're going to make it work like I said. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to make it work. You know. Yes, this is a recreation. But also, yes, we'll have some inaccuracies. It's going to happen. You know how it goes. It's going to happen. But that's the beauty of it. No, that's the beauty of it. There will always be inaccuracies. No one's going to ever get 100%. Even if you're using a floor plan and trying to do a one-to-one, you're still going to run into hurdles, you know? And that's just like, you got to still work around some limitations at some point, you know? That's just how it is a lot of the times. You're still going to run into stuff. And I'm trying to be as one-to-one as I can in this recreation. But that doesn't mean everything's going to be great. Because again, like with Street View and everything, I'm still kind of limited in some points. So there is still some limiting factors here and there. So that we do have to work around, and it's going to happen, and we're just going to have to kind of deal with it sometimes. And even though it's a little bit annoying. See if we can find... This is the ungridded piece, so... is what we need. When did I turn snap distance on? I don't remember doing that. Kind of strange. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. All right, we're hanging in there. I think this is going to work. We just gotta detail it up a little bit, and we'll be good. But we've been over 20 viewers in the live stream, so thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate it. Love seeing 20 plus viewers in the stream, so at a time. To me, that's always like a minimum, kind of like the, not minimum goal, but like a big goal of mine is to maintain 20 plus viewers in a stream. I think it's very valuable. A very valuable thing to have going for us, so I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Very, very nice. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah, we gotta get more of these details kind of going in here. Basically, yeah. I'm not a big fan of working on these kind of like weird buildings too that have unique shapes and like very small in some spots, very weird shaping. It's just kind of can be a little bit tedious and trying to figure out. I mean, it's a good challenge at times, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, man, this is like weird how we're trying to do this, so. Because you're just trying to make it not be so weird. Gotta do this, I gotta put the sign up. All that fun stuff. But yeah, this is kind of turning out. I don't know what the top of the building looks like, so I just did this little wooden piece up here, so hopefully it looks okay. There's not really anything I can do about that, you know, because I don't know what it looks like at the very top. And again, like the overhead view on, you know, Google Maps, you know, you can't really see it that well because of all the trees in the way, so not really much you can see. In fact, I don't think you can see this building at all in Google. So, it's a lot of messing around here. So, misc signs, I think this would be under theme signs, the kind of style we're looking for here. Very much Western themed sign. As long as we get it somewhat close. Some of these look a little bit too pink. We might have to go back and restructure some of that. Potentially. So now we're going to try and get the custom text on here. We're going to just start with silver dollar. I don't think we could ever... Yeah, we never can fit the whole thing on there. It's never a thing. Can you please select the text? Thank you. Alright, we're going to change the color to like this yellow color. Same with here. See if I can select this. Oh, it's already in the building. Okay. Sweet. That simplifies it for us a little bit, maybe. If it will let me select the whole thing. There we go. Then we're gonna have to scale her down. Ah, there's so much text on the sign, though, too, that we gotta fit on here. I just hope it's not too bad. Anyways, kind of reminds me, I have a need for my soap. My grandmother ran the shack back in the day, back when tickets in the park were palm-sized pink paper. That's so cool, though. Nice. That's awesome, though. That is pretty cool. Okay, look at this. We need this next text is Mountain Outfitters. Mountain Outfitters. Please fit on one thing. It's not going to. We're gonna have to do 2 separate text. That's to be expected. I wish it would allow more text on there, but it is what it is. Outfitters. Then we gotta select both of these, which for some reason is difficult. Select that, thank you. And then we're going to scale it down. It's gotta fit on that sign, so. Boom. Boom. Brilliant. Looking cool. And then we have knife shop. Might overlay this, just overlay this a little bit. A sign on a sign. In case you didn't know, there's a knife shop at Silver Dollar City. Some may have not known that. There we go. That looks reasonable. It works. Yeah. I never look forward to doing these parts of this. Like, this is, again, not the most exciting thing to work on. But I know to get to the fun stuff, we're gonna have to do all this, so. Ba-da-da-da-bum. Da-da-da-bum. Ba-dum-bum. Ba-ba-ba. Alright. Let's type stone here, because we need to get in all this stuff. Excuse me. So many things with the name stone in scenery, it makes it hard to find exactly what I want to look for here. Bum, 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 bum. The details are appreciated, though. It's not SDC without all the unique shops. No, I understand that. I fully agree. It just makes it hard for recreations, you know? All the unique, like, shaping and stuff. It's great. It's just, it makes for interesting challenge on here sometimes. Like, how to... Makes you wonder how you're gonna get everything in here done. Because there's just some buildings where I'm just like, how the heck am I gonna do that shape? How the heck am I gonna do that, you know? And it's a lot of this, like, from the older days, like a lot of the Midtown buildings and, like, stuff that has been in here for literally almost since the park opened. Those are the hard buildings to figure out. That's alright. It's worth it in the end, that's for sure. I will say that. Definitely worth it in the end. Alright, more custom text. And... made. Knives. Knives. Alright, this one's kind of levitating off the wood there, so we gotta do that. Looks great, I think. Looking good. Looking pretty solid. I think so, anyways. I think we did pretty good, like, slotting that in there and not having the space we really needed. But still somehow getting it in there, even though I didn't really have the space to do so. I think that's pretty talented on my part. Not easy. Bum, bum, bum. There's also another little shack kind of like sitting back here. I've never really walked back here before, so it's like I'm not very familiar with this part. Walked past it many times, but I've never actually like really sat back and figured out what that's like, you know. Quite interesting though, quite interesting. What do for that fence? We just use the bigger pieces. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Said that's what we're gonna do. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Of course, that's not gonna be where it should. Oh, you're gonna have a blast on these powder kegs, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. This powder keg. This powder keg. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Life that fierce, no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. This is gonna hang over quite a bit. So we're just gonna use this guy. Because why not? Pull that up. Don't know if we can pull that off, but we're gonna try to do it as much as we can. It's fine. No one will ever know. Just saying. No one has to know. Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna shorten that up a bit. Kind of go from there. And we're already approaching the 2-hour mark for the live stream. It's crazy. Time just flies when you're doing the tedious work, you know? It really does. Because we're gonna go through down here and add. Also, we gotta add that fencing that comes around all the way down over here and go from there. I definitely should positively put in some shops in some of these, though. Full functional shops would be good. Whew. Some tough work. Not gonna lie. Alright, and let's continue on these fencing. Again, some of the things I don't really... not the biggest fan of is working on this fence right now. But we're gonna try and get it now, so we don't have to worry about doing it as much later. But like I said, kind of doing it in waves too, like just doing a little bit at a time. So I'm not just doing the whole thing all at once. We're kind of going back into it, back and forth a little bit. Just a wee bit. See, why is this one somewhat normal? I don't think it's perfect, but, like, it's a little bit better. Can't make up its mind. Why is that straight now? See, sometimes it is. That's the weird thing, is it's not always consistent. Which is the weird part. Really liking how this is going, though. I think it's looking pretty accurate for the most part. I like how we go. I like how we going. Yeah, see, now it's not right. Now it's a little bit better, but not perfect. Can you stop grabbing that part? Alright, we're gonna try and at least get this side done here with this. So I don't have to do it anymore. Almost there. Okay, we're almost there, guys. Okay. It's just beautiful. Ba-da-dum-bum. Can I see your world? Yeah, we can do an overview of the park. Just let me finish this fence, and we'll do an overview of what we got done so far, which is not a crazy ton. This is still relatively early in the works, so. But we've got the entrance, and Hill Street is what we're working on now. But we got the entrance and the square thus far. I'm just gonna put this here to do this. Make it look like it's not attached to like nothing. Alright, that's starting to look good. This area is what I was really worried about, this section right here, this area, so. But yeah, if we zoom out, this is what we got so far. We got the entrance area with like the iconic sign and everything. We got Cave Road here, which leads up to this backstage area. And the cave entrance. This is the cave entrance right here. And then we have, walking up to the entrance, the hospitality house, and the square. Which is where we have some restaurants, we have some other stuff, gift shops. the Wilderness Church, and then if we, right now we're working on Hill Street right here. This is currently where we're at. We're working on Hill Street, which is the big hill, obviously, so. And then after Hill Street, we're going to work on Wildfire over here. Once we get that, I'll rename this since it's not named yet. Go ahead and name it Wildfire, because that's what it's going to be. We got the custom logo on there, which is pretty fun. That's going to be cool. But yeah, when we're done with Hill Street here, we're going to work on the American Plunge and Wildfire. So... And then we have, this is all just a mock-up over here, some testing that I was doing for Powder Keg. Since we can't really properly do the transfer track, because we don't have that option in Planet Coaster 2, we're using some hidden track with some movable track pieces, you know, just some different stuff like that. She's gonna blow! Of course, we got all the custom audio and the Powder Keg theme. The rails run red. Let that fuse, no time for dread. Or you're gonna have a blast on this Powder Keg. This Powder Keg. What's up, Silas? How you doing, man? You excited to get to orientation in a couple days? Leadership orientation was fun. Kind of. I got to watch Powder Keg have rollbacks today. Yeah, they were testing rollbacks on Powder Keg today, so I got a video of Powder Keg rolling back and going up the spike. That was kind of cool. Just working on the knife shop over here and the little bridge and all this fencing and the little water feature area that's gonna go through here. That's what we've been working on. It's kind of this little back pathway over here, which is somewhat part of Hill Street, so we got to get it built at some point, so decided to do it during this, so it's gonna be good. But, yeah, it's pretty crazy that they have it blocked off where you aren't going to be able to go to the observation area for Powder Keg. You can't watch the launch anymore. It's going to be blocked off by a fence this year because of all the construction going on. Look where I paused it, right on the end. It's crazy. We should definitely do like the little air compressor box at the back and see how it looks. I don't know if it's going to animate properly. It'll probably not look the greatest, but we can always try it. Since there's not an actual car to animate to, you'd have to animate it with the back car, but like it would, the wheels would clip through the track in many spots, so I don't know how well it would look. We could do like a little mock-up test of it, but... Ba-da-dum. Ba-da-dum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, we still got to push further back this way and get to the saloon, lumber camp, which we still have to build, and the OG fire in the hole. We're going to go all the way back there to the OG fire in the hole, lumber camp, and the skillet place. Obviously Fried Fancies, which we've already started on. Do all that seating area. And probably the waterfall too. That card shop game you play is on Game Pass. Should I get it? Is it actually on... Is it actually on... I didn't know it was on console. I mean, I'm going to say yes, because I'm into TCG cards, so... If you like simulators of running a shop and such, absolutely. Excuse me. Waiting for the next update of that game, by the way. You can get your cards graded now. That was the last update. You made it to where, yeah, I had no idea that that game was on console. That's sweet. Yeah, it is an early access game. It hasn't fully released yet. It's all early access right now. But, I mean, if you have Game Pass, I mean, you might as well try it out. And if you don't like it, that's fine, because you didn't really pay for it, you know? Since you're kind of using the gaming streaming service. Alright, always gotta ride fire in the hole at least once per stream. For those that haven't seen what we've done so far. We got all the audio. Can't wait to get down here and actually finish it. Go! Yeah, got so much inspiration. Nice. I'll have to shoot.
Go ahead, Marshal. You couldn't hit the broadside
Of a barn.
Ow! Get after those bolt numbers and stop that fire.
Red Flanders? Get back here and put on your pants.
Pants, Sadie. I ain't got no pants no more. That dang bald knobber stole them.
Hold on. What in the city hell would they want with good pants?
They don't
Call me bugs for nothing. Worry. They don't bite much. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I asked about the evacs this year. Audrey's supposed to give us more information on that later, because she doesn't know yet. Did you even tie a ding-dang knot?
You chicken! Watch out, you dang fool! You're gonna fall!
Bum bum bum.
What you done? Uh-oh, I
Think I'm stuck.
I can't reach!
Ha! Oh!
Bridge ain't gonna hold! Bye-bye!
Bugs and patches, we followed your plot, and now we're using your dynamite to blow up the water tower and pulling out the fire. Don't throw that switch, the train's coming that way. Bum bum bum.
Tower's gonna blow. Fire in the hole.
Construction this year, Powder Keg will not have evacs.
Good for nothing ball knobbers without you.
Up to
Give
48
yourself
hours.
A big old pat on the back. You deserve it. And it'll also put out any stray sparks.
Yeah, I'm curious if we're gonna have to like wear hard hats and stuff, because it's literally all construction right there, right now. Like they tore out the path where they tore out Powder Keg's path right there, where the observation area used to be, where you could watch the launch. That's all gone. They tore all that out. there's literally no path there anymore, and there's literally, I saw today, right, because they had the door open to that fence, and like there's like footers right there, and I saw them putting in place new footers as well, so they're still doing a lot of footers right there, and there's a ton of footers just right there. Don't make us carry all those hard hats out there for guests. Yeah, we need 16 hard hats. I'm curious of what the plan is, if we're just gonna have to wait to get like extra clearance or something like that, or like what's gonna go on with that. I have no clue. Like I'm sure we'll figure it out here soon, but yeah, they have it all blocked off, like, you know, where you have the powder keg photos and then you have that one building right next to it. That's where the fence is, where it's blocked off right there. So it's just kind of crazy that that's the furthest you can go this year. It will probably just be for this season. I'm sure they're going to redo kind of the path right there, because they're going to do that path that will connect to the other dead end of Wildfire, so it might kind of look a little bit different in that area now once they get that all done. Like maybe they'll have to install any active construction. Yeah, like an extra low level of clearance, like, hey, we're doing an evac. Can you like stall construction for a second? That'd be annoying for them with how often powder keg goes down. Or maybe they'll just put a tiny little walkway there. I don't know. Where we can reach our perimeter. That would not be in the way, maybe, but I don't know. That it seems like it's all in construction all the way up against the launch. So when you're riding powder keg on the launch, you're going to be able to see all the construction just from the launch. It's that cleared out right now. You're going to be able to see everything from powder keg. So if you want to see construction on the new ride, ride powder keg and probably get a good view from Wildfire as well. But like, you'll be sitting on the launch for a few seconds, so you'll get a really good view of it for a bit. Because, like, it's all under construction right now. And I wouldn't doubt that we start to see some supports and tracks pretty soon, because I'd imagine once they get all the footers finished, that's going to be going in fairly soon. When they announced Time Traveler in 2017, they almost had all the track work done at that point. Like, you could see the whole thing at that point. They almost had all of it done. But we'll see on this new project. Who knows? It just depends. We'll just have to wait and see. Because we don't know. It certainly is a mystery. But I can't wait. I'm sure a lot of people can't wait either. Do new hires come to the yearly orientation, or do they have a separate one? It's separate. And Friday is returning orientation. So all the returners. No, they should not be there. Because it's the returning orientation. Everyone there is going to be returners. New hires have their own separate. Even if she was there, just ignore her. That's what I would say. Just ignore her. That is my full thing that I would say. Dun, ba, dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, this is all part of a scenery group. I forgot about that. bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-dum, 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 bum, bum. Alright. Not gonna lie, I think I did a pretty good job with this little bridge here. A little tiny bridge. Who's excited for opening day? I'm just excited to make money again. Because I'm broke. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to the first paycheck. Off-season was brutal to me this year. Probably the most... I think it's the most brutal off-season I've had. I like making people happy. I just love that I made it into the slides today. They put together like some slides and such, and I actually made it into a few of them. It's funny. Very humorous. Alright, let's walk through a little bit. Except for enthusiasts, I'm making them mad. But the world revolves around them, Silas. A hospitality house. There's the entrance to the cave. I'm pretty proud of how all this has turned out. I think it's turned out fairly decent. If I do say so myself. And they tore down even more trees around Outlaw Run, which if you thought last year was banned, they tore down even more. Kinda sucks. Yep, they did. There's even less trees now. They tore down even more. By the barrel roll mainly. Even though most of them are already gone. They're also tearing out a ton of trees by the truss bridge. You know, the bridge that makes the horse sounds and everything. Off to the right, when I was over there, they were actually taking down trees actively when I was walking by there, and they had most of them gone already. I don't know why they're tearing down trees there. Will it be around the same length or longer? I don't know. We're probably going to be there at least till 1, 2 p.m. at the very earliest. At least, I would say. I'd definitely plan, because we'll have a lunch and then we'll have more after that, so. Yeah, we did all this right here today. An extra several hour segment? I don't think so. Orientation is just what it is. It says it is. It's an orientation. They go over all the new stuff going into the year and stuff like changes and stuff from last year to this year, and basically like it's like your pre-training for before you do your actual training in your job site. It doesn't suck because it means we get more hours, and that's what I need right now. It's hours. Need all the hours I can get right now. So we won't get paid until the 13th. The 13th is going to be our first payday. That's so far away. Oh yeah, next year we're going to do lots of stuff. And by the way, we're going to be kind of preparing for that, it sounds like, this year. We're not going to do all that stuff, but we're going to be preparing for it. They actually have got stuff for it already set up. You'll see Friday, probably. We'll go over it a little bit, but yeah, they even told me that there's going to be auditors from there that will be in disguise as normal guests that will be watching us, and they will have meta glasses and be recording us too, basically, when that all starts. So yeah, they're going to be watching us very closely during all that when we do convert over to that stuff. It's going to be insane. So you never know when they're going to be watching, too. We're all getting fired. Or you could just actually do our job the way we're supposed to. I'm gonna make them take their glasses off. No more glasses. Bum bum bum. Alright, before I ended the stream here, I do want to check something out because I came across a Silver Dollar City Park file on the workshop not too long ago, and I want to see what it looks like or what it is. So, you know what I mean? Available on Nexus Mod, like backstage assets? Really? Maybe I should check that out. There's like a new, does it add like new pieces and stuff? Nexus Mods, and let's go Planet Coaster 2. I'll have to check this out. Oh yeah, Emergency Realism Pack. Ooh, those look good. I might actually have to download that. There's also like a mod for like, that's interesting. Wow. There's actually some cool stuff in here. I haven't been on Nexus Mods in a while, but like, that's pretty cool that they're adding stuff to the game. I like that. Only thing is like if you put this in like and upload it to the workshop, I love those catwalks, like the walkways. Those are nice. You put this like in the game, you're gonna have to make sure whoever downloads it has these pieces. It's pretty nice. I don't know if I'll download it or not. I think it'd be nice. I think it's cool. But the only reason is like, you know, everyone's gonna have to download it to open the file properly. That's the only main thing. Can you burn down Fried Fancies? Again? Were you the first one that... Did you do it the first time? You said again. Very cool, though. Just goes to show I need to pay attention more often to the Coaster Sim Society stuff, too. Which doesn't look like it was thrown on here. Just thrown on Nexus mods, okay. I love seeing, like, actual stuff being created, though. That's pretty cool. No comment. That's not reassuring. Alright, yeah, there's a Silver Dollar City park file that had an axe on it. I don't know if this is the same one that I looked at before. There was another one that I had. And it was kind of weird, like, it wasn't real. Oh yeah, it was this one down here. It was called Silver Dollar City. But I'm curious if this is like a recreation or just like a Silver Dollar City inspired kind of creation. I'm curious. I'm not sure if this is good or not. It may or may not be. But you know, it didn't take crazy amount of time to load, but oh yeah, this is definitely not Silver Dollar City. I made a big old parking garage. That's something we do not have with flowers on the pillars. Looks like Patrick Starr's shorts. But anyways, I guess maybe it's just someone that really likes Silver Dollar City and decided to name their own park after it. I mean, the sign, they did a pretty good job on the sign. Not gonna lie. It's clearly SDC. Obviously, what is this ride? Is this supposed to be Outlaw Run? It's just called Wooden One. And then we have a B&M coaster. Is this Wildfire? It looks like it's inspired by Wildfire. It's got the Emmelman, the loop, and then the Cobra Roll. Then we got a mid-course. Then the corkscrew. Double corkscrew. Okay. This is a Wildfire that can run 3 trains. That's what it looks like. And then this is our Outlaw Run. It is topper track too, so this is Outlaw Run inspired. It's got the double barrel roll. Look at that. We got our drop. We got our 153, well, maybe 153 degree outside bank turn. And then I'm guessing this is like a wave turn kind of thing. I don't know what's all of this. And then we have a double barrel roll, which actually has some heart lining to it. Like that actually looks pretty good shape. Pretty well shaped. Ozark Howler. Oh, is this Time Traveler? It's Time Traveler. The layout's actually pretty close, but it is different. They don't have the loop over here. They kind of... They followed it all the way up to about this point. Instead of the loop, they did this little turn and then another little Emmelman. And then the vertical loop. And then the second launch into another inversion, and... What did I do to my recreation? Yeah, this is what we've been building. This is interesting, though. What is this supposed to be? It's a kid coaster. Oh, it looks like Expo Coaster. That's what this is. This is definitely Expo Coaster. 100%. 100% Expo Coaster. I still don't know what this wood coaster is supposed to represent. Maybe Thunderation. Because some people are under the impression that Thunderation's a wood coaster. The GP anyways. This doesn't represent anything. Maybe this is the new ride. This looks like a blueprint they placed down. Not gonna lie. It's definitely... The quality of this looks way too high compared to some of the other stuff. This is definitely a blueprint that was just thrown down. I congratulate them on trying to do some terrain work, though. They definitely tried to do that. Messages aren't disappearing anymore? Wait, was something going on with your messages? Anyways, this is interesting. This is my I hope I'm not wrong in saying this, and I don't mean this in a bad way, because I'm sure they worked really hard on this, but to me, this is a little kid that loves playing a coaster, and I could see myself doing this as a kid as well, and recreating the park from memory. Maybe they went to the park maybe once or twice or something, and they're like, I want to recreate it, but they're not actually recreating. They're just from their memory are like, I want to recreate it, you know? And obviously the layouts will be a little bit different, you know, kind of close, but just what they remember from their head, you know? And to me, that's really cute. You know, that's really cute. I love that. Or I could be completely wrong, and it was an adult that just really tried. Which I still appreciate. Like, your heart lining, whoever did it had actually pretty good heart lining on this barrel roll. Not gonna lie. Might even be better than mine. I'm not making fun of this park. I was curious about it because it was labeled Silver Dollar City, and they had the Silver Dollar City entrance sign as the thumbnail. So it's like, is it a recreation? Is it something else, or what is it? I just thought I would look at this real quick before we left for the day. Hopefully I don't confuse anybody coming in for the first time that that was by me. Hope not. You guys want to see how Windland Adventure Resort's coming along? I've been working on it. Give you guys a sneak peek. Anytime people come to the live streams, you know, it's a great time to get sneak peeks on stuff. Because I will give you guys sneak peeks. Time City's not in Planet Coaster 2, Silas. You know this. Bruh. Pretty sure you know this already. If you want to see Time City, open it up in Planet Coaster 1. Alright, are back in Windland Adventure Resort. Again, just giving you guys a sneak peek. This is basically Planet Coaster 2's Time City. It's not Time City, but it's, the project is equivalent as in, like, scale. Except it is a little bit bigger because I've gotten better at building and, more detailed and just overall doing better, so. It's the greatest Planet Coaster park to ever exist. I think it was one of my most ambitious ideas. But yeah, I started working on this boat ride. I even themed up the boats. And yeah, we've been working on that. I themed up all of this over here on this first hill and turn of the coaster finally, because it's over by the boat ride. Red River Valley, but yeah. Oh yeah, that one would have been amazing to finish. It is not Isle of Berk. There's no dragons in here. Do you see a single dragon in this this land? I don't think so. Yeah, we're working on the boat ride, which will hopefully be pretty cool. Creating a very large station for it. Tried my best to make the boats look a lot like Viking ships. Don't know if I did a great job on it, but I tried. Red River Valley was amazing. it was a cool time. Post How to Train Your Dragon 3. Alright, I added, just so you guys know, there's onboard audio of this coaster. I created a custom onboard audio for it. So there's actually onboard audio that I built for it. That I recorded, and it's got music and actually theming elements, and it's pretty fun. Pretty cool. Pork grinds when I visit the park this year. Yeah, it's coming along. After we get this boat ride done, where it's basically just like fill in the gaps and like finish up some finishing touches, and the Viking themed area will be pretty much complete. Pretty awesome. Make the audio for this park. I actually did not use a voice actor, but I used an AI voice that sounded like a Viking. It was really good. Need to open back up some of the blocked off stair shortcuts. Are you guys ready for this epic onboard audio?
Time to take off. Make sure we don't crash.
Time to take off. Make sure we don't crash.
That's it. We're flying. Turn right. Keep it steady.
Whee!
Slow down. We need to get back on track.
It's not a dragon. It's a flying contraption that the Vikings have invented. Ah, that's something new I added too, was the little furnace thing. I love this waterfall feature right there.
Almost there. That was some skilled flying. You made it back in one piece. Come back again for some more test flights. You are a true Viking now.
Woo! I thought it was cute. It's supposed to be a children's coaster, or like a family coaster too, so it's got to be a little cheesy. That's not a dragon, though, Silas. Dragons aren't the only thing in the world that fly. You can't watch the Powder Keg launch anymore, at least for this season, because it's all a construction site. You can do a better voice than that? Okay, Silas, I want you to send me all those lines in your voice. I want you to make me an audio recording of all those lines. Just for me. And then if they are better, I'll use them. It's fun, though. Time to turn up the heat. Yeah, this isn't a dragon. Can I still at least ride Powder Keg, assuming the entire thing isn't just blocked off? Yes, you can still ride it. Just the observation area where you could watch the launch the launch is blocked off now. That path is completely removed. They removed the you have an audition for voice act. But yeah, they removed the entire path there. The path is gone. And they put a fence up there, or a big, tall fence up. And because there are literally footers that they're putting in right now that's right up against Powder Keg, so like right by or near the launch, so kind of looks like a dragon. Yeah, but it's not. It's a stone sculpture. It's not a real dragon. But that was my observations of being on the park for the first time today. So, since I was on park today and actually went down to Outlaw Run and Powder Keg and walked some of the parks, so I got to see some of that stuff today, which was pretty fun. Turned a real dragon into stone. That's crazy. Silas, I think you're crazy. Alright, so another thing we did is I edited these supports so the supports are out of the water. I added that detail. We did add this little furnace thing here that blows fire. That's all we mainly did for the coaster, and then the rest so far I've been working on this, so obviously I did this for the coaster too.
That's it.
Turn right. Keep it steady. Time City 2.0, there's gonna be a Viking land, but it's gonna have dragons. That way it's historically accurate. We have dragons. I mean, really only 2 areas in this epic universe-inspired park is gonna be inspired by actual stuff. Like the Viking section is going to be inspired by our Isle of Berk, and then we also have the Darkmoor, which is also going to be inspiration for the horror-themed area. And then the other 2 areas are kind of standalone. So like we're going to have a steampunk section and a western section. So pretty exciting. Voyage of the... Oh, no. Really? We're gonna do that? Voyage of the Burnt Bananas? The Burnt Banana. Thunderation Tribute. Yeah, we'll probably have a... We might have a mine train. It's possible. Perhaps. Perhaps. That could be a thing. You missed the burnt banana. You think of it every day. That's sad. I still need to make like a proper booth here. I never made like an actual operator booth here for the for the coaster. I think the station turned out pretty nice though. Like it looks pretty atmospheric in here, doesn't it? Time City 2.0 is gonna have a burnt banana ride. Dear goodness, what area is it gonna be in?
down. We need to get back on track.
I don't know why the audio gets off. I thought they fixed that, but on this coaster, for some reason, the audio gets off if you're not near it, so. 1700 eras, obviously. Did someone say the burnt banana? And here's J-Trains. Someone did say burnt banana. Not the burnt banana. Alright. I think you're missing something. It's an old thing from years ago when we played Sea of Thieves. So someone decided to burn a banana on our ship, and it burnt our entire ship down in Sea of Thieves, and yeah. So we named our actual ship the Burnt Banana. There's a whole video on it and on YouTube of it happening because it was during a live stream. I was playing with Fluffy, me, J-Trains, and Silas. Were you there? Yeah, Silas, wasn't it? And then Silas. And then they thought it would be funny. All the time. And they started doing it constantly, and they got a little bit annoying. I just remember, like, it wouldn't have happened if, I legit remember Fluffy just saying, like, just remember him saying, he's like, well, that wouldn't have happened if you wouldn't left the banana burning. If we play again, that won't happen again. You say that. What's up, Country Angels? How's it going? I was like, I remember just going over that hill and seeing our ship engulfed in flames. Sub Debro, I'm the guy who requested the train as a blueprint. Who knew a single banana could take out an entire ship? That clip is the best clip in your channel. I kind of want to bring it up. Is it bad that I kind of want to bring it up? See if I can find it first. See if I type JLW Games Burnt Banana. See what happens here. Is it this one?
We've been spotted.
Yep, it's this one. Hold on. Here we go.
Well, no, but our ship is kind of burning.
Wait, our ship's burning down?
Oh my god, it's burning. It is burning.
Why is it?
Because you left the banana cooking.
Wait, what?
I actually didn't mean to do that on purpose.
The ship's burning
Part of
down.
our ship is
Other people
underwater.
found us. Are we just gonna be stranded here now?
No, we can respawn the ship, but it's
Okay, okay, that's
so
not a good idea.
if it burns down, just grab the treasure and keep it safe, and then we'll respawn the ship. Just this shot right here.
Right, so.
What the actual heck?
Hang on.
Fire.
We've been spotted.
Oh my gosh. I remember that moment. As if it were yesterday. Just seeing the ship burn. Yep. That was the legend of the burnt banana. But, okay guys, I think I'm going to head out here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Be sure to check us out later again. We're going to be hopefully streaming pretty soon, so it was funny the first 100 times. But thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, goodbye!